Hey, hello everyone. It's me again. Thank you for joining me if you are joining me. Um, yeah, actually, I'll just go to camera. Right. Uh, right. So today, I'm gonna be breaking down a match video from Leandro Lo. Um, it's his it's his World Championship finals match that happened this year. It was his last, I guess, World Championships before his tragic murder that happened last month. Um, if you want to find out a little bit more of what happened, I'm sure you can find some news stories online, really detailing what happened. I was looking in it. I was looking online today about to try and see if there was more information on what had what had transpired and also what was going on with his friends and families, friends and family, and also to see what his killer got, if there's a trial pending. I imagine there is, but I haven't seen any reporting on it. So yeah, I was looking at it today and thought that I should. I wanted to look at his last match. It might have not been his last match. He might have competed just before that, but I mean just after this happened. Um, I'm not exactly sure when the adult worlds were. I'm pretty sure it was at least earlier in the year. I think the first quarter of this year. But anyways, um, yeah, like I mentioned, this is going to be Leandro Lo versus Isaac Isaac Bahiense from the IBJJF World Championships 2022. He was fighting at medium heavy, so I think that's about over 200 pounds. I'm not sure exactly how much that is. Oops. I'm just gonna look up the weight categories real quick. Medium heavy. Oh no. Oh, masters. So that's 195 pounds. Yeah, 195. That's 88.3 kilograms. So that's the highest end. At the lowest end, you can be 82.3 kilograms. So that's 181.6 pounds. Um, so yeah, we're just gonna watch that match. It's going to be. Oh, that's not important. Yeah, it's going to be about 14 minutes. Let me see here. So I'm just gonna switch it over here, and then yeah, we'll just get right into it. Now I'll put the audio on this a little bit lower, and then we'll just get started. So these two refs here um, are for if it does go even at the end of the match. These two refs give their decision along with the third ref, and it's best 2 out of 3 there. So if at least 2 of the refs call it for one athlete and the other one calls it for the other one, then yeah, it's given to the athlete with more refs deciding on him, anyways. NS Brotherhood is actually the school that Leandro started. So I think it's still operating. I imagine it's still operating. Um, so did they say his name? His Isaque. Isaque. Okay, now that I know. He pulls guard right away. That was nice. So I think I mentioned this before. Pulling guard, normally you want to pull guard with. Actually, no. I think Leandro jumped for it. Yeah. So right there, the ref is just calling to remember what grip they had so that they can go back into the middle, because they are at the boundary. Um, Depending on what happens around the boundary, if Isaque was going for a takedown, and Leandro Lo kind of landed outside of the outside of this yellow boundary there. I think Isaque would have only gotten a an advantage, not any points for it. So you can see the ref there making sure they know what grip that is, so there's no funny business after. Cross grip, and then they go from there. Gets right up. A lot of times on this restart, it can be difficult to get back into like the rhythm of what's going on, because it is a stop in the match. The first person that ends up exploding out or taking the advantage to start moving first ends up getting the better of it. So you never really want to be caught in a situation where you're waiting for the restart. Like as soon as the ref says go, you're like trying to take a breath. You're taking that breath before the ref restarts it, so that you can still keep up the same intensity. And we kind of see it here. And he tries to get back up right away. And both going for the inside collar grips. Actually, no, I think that one's on his hand. So Leandro has both inside. Isaque has one on the sleeve, the other one on the collar. This could lead him into better throws. Isaque could use this into better throws. But if Leandro's not really worried about throws, if he knows he's gonna pull guard, this is just as good too. Another thing you can do is try and push your opponent outside of the ring. Sometimes that'll, depending on if they just keep going backwards towards the edge of the ring to basically create a restart, then they can get a deduction. Your opponent can get a deduction from that. And then, yeah, see, he jumps guard once again. And they're trying to reset, the ref resets them in the middle. trying to restart them in like a neutral position like guard. It's not really a neutral, but in a position where they're not moving around as much, and you can clearly establish either a guard or a moment when both fighters agreed, not really agreed, but that both fighters are not moving. You can clearly see what the position is. That's normally the best time to stop what's happening and reset them in the middle. He's going for sleeve grip, so is Leandro here. I think for the bottom person, the sleeve grip is going to be a lot better than the person in guard here. We'll see what Leandro likes to do. I don't know a lot of what his game entails, so I'm kind of interested to see what he tries to do here. Standing up in guard has been more popular way to pass, I guess. The last couple of years, I've been doing it a lot myself recently. Just because I found staying on the knees while passing guard really sets me up for a lot of different sweeps. He's trying to shake him off with his elbows. Push down with the elbows. I think this position wears out the person on bottom a lot more than it does the person standing up. Yes, even though you are carrying another person, like your opponent's weight on top of you, if you have strong legs, which you should have, this won't be too much of an issue most of the time. And then you can sort of wait them out or try and like shake them off from here. You can see Isaque is trying to keep his elbows on the inside to use that as like a brace up against Leandro's thighs, so he can use that brace to try and push down and wiggle his elbows in to try and break the guard open. Leandro comes up again. And just loses his balance there. Oh, he goes for the collar grip, maybe scissor sweep. No. You would normally set that up with the you would normally set up the scissor sweep with the arm instead. I haven't seen it too many times set up with the legs, so maybe he would have showed me something new there that I haven't seen before. Once again, Isaque manages to stand up. Ooh. Leandro's doing a good job of just changing his weight enough to be able to bring Isaque back to his knees. So you can see he steps in to try and get his space underneath him, and then Leandro sort of shifts his weight just to make him fall down again to his knees. Yeah. Oh, reverse De La Hiva there. So he grabs underneath he hooks underneath the inside ankle. So I would say the left ankle. He goes for reverse De La Hiva. So reverse De La Hiva instead of this leg right here going from the outside, and then Leandro sort of being either flat on his back or maybe a bit more yeah, normally flat on the back for De La Riva guard. He's betting on going underneath from the few frames that I saw before, and getting this leg hooked on the inside here, underneath the close side knee. Tries to sprawl underneath, but he gets the far leg instead. So normally he was trying to get underneath and roll behind, so get his head underneath and try and roll towards the back underneath here. What's his name? Isaque ends up seeing that, so to stop that, he really prevents him from. He drops his hips, trying to prevent Leandro from actually going underneath. So Leandro ends up switching his tactic. So instead of going underneath, he goes for Isaque's right leg to change what he's going for. And then you see he ends up rolling. He's still, would you call this behind or in front? Maybe probably behind. So let me see here. So he rolls underneath. Isaque puts his hand on the ground to make sure he doesn't get thrown over. Drops his hips to make sure there's no space for Leandro to slide underneath and get towards his back. Leandro realizes this, but now the leg is free. Isaque's leg is right there to grab. He grabs it, gets off onto that side. So a couple different things that can happen here. Normally the knee bar can happen if Leandro's able to turn all the way towards his, in this situation it would be his right side. So if he brings his shoulder back off the ground and brings his shoulder down towards the ground, and then he ends up facing the camera, which I think he kind of ends up doing anyways, but instead he rolls onto his back, and this can be a sort of calf slicer position if Isaque wasn't standing up. Now here, if trying to run away is normally one way you can do it, but I think he should have kept his hand on Leandro's foot instead to help push the foot down and try and slide his knee out. But he goes for the back take instead. I've seen that kind of back take from De La Riva instead. It's become more popular to do it that way, but yeah. And then you can see he's still just going for that leg too. Crosses it over, making sure the knee doesn't get past his hips. So once the knee starts getting past the hips, Isaque here can actually escape more effectively. For the new age leg lock players, they might prefer, some of them prefer to get a triangle lock on this side. I don't. Actually, he has the underhook on this side, so he can actually, I think Leandro can bring the leg all the way over and lock this foot underneath this knee, and keep it secure. I think under this rule set he's allowed to do that. If he had the overhook, I think that would be a different story. But because he has the underhook, I think it would be fine. But he uses it to get back up, and then, oh, that's nice. So I'm just gonna go back a little bit. I'm actually just trying to make sure I don't get a community guideline strike at the same time. So that's why I keep looking at my phone. Anyways, so you can see here, I think he was checking the time there. He notices the shift, recognizes that that's the perfect moment because Isaque's hands are on the ground, uses that to stand up. His hips are actually over top of both knees, which is great. Isaque's caught in like this awkward position where both of his legs, like both of his knees, are on the inside, but he can't really extend all that much because Leandro's has one of his pants grip. The other one, even though it's underneath Leandro's far leg, he's not really able to extend as much. And there we see trying to push down the hips. His knee comes towards the ground, crosses over, and uses this underhook here to keep Isaque shoulders towards the ground. Boom. Nice. Doesn't get the side control, but still has that underhook there. That's an advantage for Leandro. A 2. And an advantage. 2 advantages. So this is kind of smart on Leandro, using his belt to actually gain more rest time. You give your opponent a chance to rest, but because he has 2 points now, well, not 2 points, 2 advantages, he can think about what to do next, and it puts the pressure on the opponent as well. It puts that mental pressure on the opponent. Ooh. Maybe trying to go for an ankle pick there. Kind of hard when he's that far away. Let's see it one more time. Actually, he was a lot closer than I thought. Ooh, no, it wasn't an ankle pick. Both inside grips again. I mean, Leandro doesn't look like he's really trying to engage him for the inside position. When I mean the inside position, I mean the center of the ring, center of the mat. I mean, because he just keeps just inching his way backwards, and then once he gets to the edge of the mat, he ends up circling once again. So see there, he's trying to circle, making sure he doesn't get pushed out. Yeah. So that was a deduction on both of them for stalling, I imagine. Yeah. Oh. So snap down. So he's using that inside position for snap down. One arm's on the outside, one arm's on the inside here. Looks like they're both now grabbing on the high collars. Yeah. Once Isaque takes his hands off, goes for that sleeve grip. Go the sleeve grip and reaches over top. So I think that was the moment when Leandro figured out to go, because when they had both arms extended, that was too far to do it. If he tried to do it there, at least one of Isaque's arms would have just stiffed on, and it would have been difficult to even grab the leg. Then he grabs the sleeve, which actually brings him a little bit closer. It brings Isaque a little bit closer towards Leandro. Then he lets go of the sleeve, gets closer, and tries to go for the back. Now he decides to go, because now that block, this hand is no longer blocking. It's over top of his shoulder, so he has a clear path towards that front leg. And then you can see double leg takedown there, and he's still inside. Gets 2 points. Let's see. Trying to establish a guard, a lasso guard here. De La Hiva. Nice. It's a good way of controlling the arms to try and get back up. Trying to fight for the better grip position here. This time Isaque is trying to pull guard. Maybe he feels that Leandro had a better idea for his counters, because he's been letting Isaque go just push forward the entire time. I guess he's trying just to change up his strategy to see if maybe he can work better from guard. He's extending that leg, De La Hiva guard here. I don't know if he has the arm or the collar grip. I think the collar grip. No, he has the lower lapel grip here. And same thing, trying to use that to roll underneath. Just pushing off to the side. These armpit grips, especially if the person's a lot longer than you, can be very tough to deal with. What I normally like doing is just picking one side and trying to reach on one side to break one of the grips off. Trying to go for both of them at the same time by swimming. I think that's better in no gi than it is in gi. No, he's using that lapel a lot now. Let's just slide underneath. Great balance by Leandro. This is new. I haven't seen a lot of people try and reach underneath like this, like reach over top and grab the opposite leg. Oh, but he gets his leg out and now he has a sort of single leg instead. Guard there. See if he's still trying to go for the pass. Here he keeps the heavy pressure up top and goes into quarter mount instead. His final match, so he can use up all his strength here. And see if he tries to get that foot out. He's inching for it. Yeah, he knows now. There we go. Let's see. There's that double leg takedown that we I found really interesting. No, not there. I think it was a little bit farther. Yeah, it was here. So Leandro's been letting, like the entire fight, he was letting Isaque just come and push him farther and farther towards the edge. I guess that gave him pretty false sense of distance. Because right now, with both arms extended, you feel pretty safe about where your opponent is. Because you keep pushing them backwards. Right? You don't really expect them to come forwards at that time. Just keep going. You can see Leandro still stepping backwards, even as Isaque is trying to grab on the sleeve. Still take smaller steps now. Even before that, steps were a bit bigger. Taking his hands reach, smaller steps. Takes a big step, smaller step, and then there we go. And then explodes right before his foot touches the ground. Yeah. That was nice. So that's how you can create, I guess, the illusion of distance. Because Leandro still has both of his arms extended, it's actually not as extended as they were before. He's pulling his arm in. Now you can see how much closer than they were before. The heads are touching. He has his free space completely open, and before his foot touches the ground, he's already driving forward. No, he's dropping and driving forward after. So that was just a good sense of distance by Leandro. Actually, I want to see it one more time at full speed. Yeah, it happened so quickly. So yeah, there we go. It's unfortunate that he was killed. He did go out on quite a high note with I think he was actually the most decorated Brazilian Jiu-jitsu athlete at the black belt level, I want to say. We looked over his stats on my last video, so if you want to find out a little bit more about him, you can either check that video or just see his match record online. So yeah, that'll be it for me today. I want to thank you guys for watching. This one went a little bit faster just because once again there wasn't a lot of exchange of positions. It was, I won't say it was mostly stand up, which I'm not too well versed in, but yeah, we saw good control of the mat area and how you can control distance with your arms in those in this match. That double leg takedown that we ended up seeing a little bit more is a good example of how you can fake someone into coming into your distance and capitalizing on it. Yeah, so anyways, thank you. Thank you for watching today. Sorry it was a little bit earlier, but I have some plans. A little bit later I am teaching a private lesson, and I just wanted to relax before I do that and try and focus on what I'm gonna be teaching the other person. Also, I don't have anything really planned the next couple weekends. Just more consistent training. Um, I've been getting back into trying to train about five times a week, and trying to, yeah, just trying to um, get back into doing more of these videos on a regular basis. I know I keep saying that, but yeah, it's been a hard time of trying to motivate myself to actually make things and create things and start training again. So yeah, hopefully I can come up with something, a new video in the next month or so, and try and bring it out with some of the new stuff that I've been working on. Anyways, I hope you have a good day. I hope you have a good weekend, and maybe I'll see you next week. Take care.